This broadcast is copyrighted by Empire Media and Management. Any unauthorized reproduction is strictly prohibited.
I spend my nights under the stage lights, but after the applause, I'm back in my truck from my hometown dealer, Benoit Motors. The country roads of Louisiana are my soul, and Benoit Motors gets who I am and who we are. They are proud to be a dealership for the everyday American. Join me and become a member of their family. Benoit Motors. They're with you for all your life's big moments and all the miles in between.
Good evening, Panther Nation, and welcome to the Coach Lee Doty Show, brought to you by Benoit Ford of Farmerville. If you need a new ride, make that short drive to Farmerville and let Danny Benoit and his friendly staff make that new car a reality. William Handy, we're coming to you from the Frenchman Clubhouse, and we're here every Wednesday night at 6:15 to talk football with Coach Lee Doty. While you're here, you might want to get a meal from the Frenchman's Bend restaurant, and Miss Bonnie will make sure to take good care of you. And while you're sitting there having a meal, you'll have Coach Doty present the McDonald Senior Spotlight. He'll reveal the first security title Monroe players of the game for offense, defense, and special teams. Tonight, we'll recap the Jennings Bulldogs win from Friday night. We'll preview the upcoming game against the Union Farmers. And we'll have a special interview with Anna Wigley, head athletic trainer at Sterlington High School. Coach, good to be here again this evening, and I'll throw it over to you for that McDonald Senior Spotlight tonight.
Thank you, and as always, I want to thank Danny and Monica Benoit for being a sponsor of the show. I want to thank Frenchman's Bend, for having us. Also would like to say, last Tuesday night, Miss Bonnie fed all of our seniors here. And we really appreciate that, and had a great meal and a great time together. So our McDonald's Spotlight, Miss Jennifer Thomas is here to present this for us. Our senior spotlight tonight and our captains for this week is Payton Smith and Chase Mitchell. Let's give them a big hand. Come on behind us back here, men. We'll get y'all going. Miss Jennifer is Director of Operations for McDonald's and been very good to us. And some nice items in that bag right there. You guys hang tight. Miss Jennifer, I want to recognize your husband. They're my neighbors, but I've been living there about 3 years, and Darren's been deployed almost the whole time I've been living there, it seems like. And man, we appreciate your service. Would you mind standing up for us? And let's give this man a hand, because this guy's serving our country, and I'm telling you, and I'm not lying to you, I've been there for 3 years, and it seems like he's been deployed most of the time. Man, we appreciate your service, and thanks for being a great neighbor. And Jennifer, thank you, and appreciate all y'all do. These guys behind me right here, they're our senior spotlight, and they'll also be our captains this week for our big game at Union. Payton Smith here has been with us for 4 years. Really good player for us, and he's gotten better every year. And people always ask me, Coach, is he really as big as you say he is? And I always say, well, come look at him, because he's a big man. And he's kind of getting feeling, he missed a couple games early, had some injuries, and you see he's still got a club on his right hand, but he's playing, and he's having a heck of a year for us. And Chase here is, he's a 4-year player for us too, and I told someone earlier today, Chase has been our biggest surprise on defense. I mean, he's played lights out. Just to be honest with you, Chase could be our defensive player every week every player of the week game. So very proud of Chase. He's having an all-conference, all-district, all-state type of year, and we hope it continues. So these are our guys, man. These guys make good grades. They work hard, and we're very proud of them. So let's give our captains this week a big hand.
Congratulations to Payton and Chase on being captains this week. Coach, I want to finish this out. Past couple of weeks we've had those behind the scenes looks going at what goes into Panther football, and You know, tonight, I'd like to take really kind of a quick look at a group that's very important that really not a lot of people talk about or know about, and that's that film crew that gets video together not only for Friday night, but I know they video the practices each week. And Coach, I was wanting to ask you, you know, who makes up that crew and what do they do during the week as it relates to practicing the games and that filming session, and how do they get that film ready for you as coaches to review?
Well, it's a very good question, and you know, we've had a great film crew since I've been here, and it kind of started with Kayla Beavers. Kayla was our first girl that ever lettered in football at Sterlington High School, as far as I know. So we take these guys and gals, we have both of them that come and want to come be part of our program, but maybe just want to film. We film every practice. We take volunteers and we basically train them up. We film an end zone shot off of the lift, and we also film 2 shots from the press box. So every practice we have 3 of them. I think we got 6 or 8 total. And then we go to the games. You know, they do our end zone film, our sideline film, and they do all this out of the goodness of their heart. So I buy them letter jackets. If they stay with me 2 years, you get a letter jacket. I think we've had three, maybe 4 girls that's lettered in football because, to me, that's part of the team. And without them, we wouldn't be successful. Miss Becky Foster has kind of taken it on her own to be over these young ladies. And she orders them jackets and shirts and takes them to the game, and she feeds them. And, she's kind of put that together for me. And I didn't realize how much she took off my plate when she did that. So very important part. They film, they come in. RJ is kind of our film guy. He takes it, he uploads it to Huddle. Same thing on Friday nights, but these girls and guys that do this, I mean, they're a very important part of our program, and we've been very, very fortunate that, we have 3 seniors this year, and any of you 8th graders that is out there that's coming up, that's listening, hey, come on out and be part of the program. So it's just a great opportunity for somebody to be part of the program. And like I said, you get a letter jacket, you're awarded things at the banquet, and look, I'm telling you, we just couldn't make it without them. And special thanks to Miss Becky Foster for running that crew for us.
They do a good job on the film, and that, like I said, that's kind of an underappreciated thing that goes on, and that's why I really like us kind of talking about some things people don't see.
Right.
They do a great job on that.
That's a good question. I'm glad you asked me so we could recognize those.
Well, Coach, I guess when we come back, we're going to recap that Jenny's game, and then we're going to present the first security title of Monroe Players of the Week for offense, defense, and special teams. We'll be back in just a moment.
I spend my nights under the stage lights, but after the applause, I'm back in my truck from my hometown dealer, Benoit Motors. The country roads of Louisiana are my soul, and Benoit Motors gets who I am and who we are. They are proud to be a dealership for the everyday American. Join me and become a member of their family. Benoit Motors, they're with you for all your life's big moments and all the miles in between.
First Security Title of Monroe provides real estate transaction services in Northeast Louisiana. The closing process has never been easier. With a dedicated staff that takes pride in helping our customers obtain quality service. First Security Title, 1818 Avenue of America, Monroe.
Meet Dave. Dave has a problem. He has way too much stuff and not enough room to store it. As Dave searches, he comes across Ashley Storage. They have great locations in Monroe and Sterlington, Louisiana. They have a wide variety of storage unit sizes available, and their prices are very reasonable. The best part about Ashley Storage is that Dave can reserve his storage unit online from his home, quick and easy. Give us a call or check out our website at ashleystorageofsterlington.com.
At Cross Keys Bank, we're full of Sterlington Panther pride. We're also proud to offer free key checking for individuals and businesses. Free key checking has no minimum balance requirement, and you'll never have to worry about bank fees again. I'm Lee Riordan, Sterlington Market Manager. I invite you to stop by our branch soon to open a free key checking account. Cross Keys Bank, member FDIC.
Cross Keys Bank.
Welcome back to the Coach Lee Doty Show, brought to you by Benoit Ford of Farmville. Coach, we want to talk about that 45-14 win we had at home this past week against the Jennings Bulldogs. Of course, they came in with four-star recruit Trevor Etienne, and he was every bit of a four-star recruit, just like you said he would be. And he said the key to the game last week was if we stopped him, we'd have a good chance of winning that game. And Coach, looking at what the defense did, they held them to 2 touchdowns, last of which was on the last drive of the game. So I think they accomplished that. But also have to say, in regards to that Panther offense, I mean, they turned in another great performance in the running and the passing game. That's the second week in a row. So, we got it on both sides this week. And I want to talk about that offense to start with. And, of course, you know me, the stat guy. But just talking about what they did, we had 41 rushes for 369 yards and 4 touchdowns. That's 9.2 yards a carry. And in the passing game, again, in a very efficient game, 5 of 7, 132 yards, 1 touchdown, and interception. We had total yards of just over 500, 501 yards to be exact. In 10 possessions, we scored 6 touchdowns and a field goal, and then we had 1 to end the game. And then the other 2 was the interception, and they had a fumble as well. One of the things that we talked about quite a bit during the year, Coach, you and I have talked a little bit just sort of off to the side about it as well, has been really the performance of Mason Lawhon this year in the offense. This past week, I know the whole staff's been kind of prodding him along to see those openings on that running game, but this week he had 131 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns on the ground, and then that's going with 132 yards in the air with 2 touchdowns there. Also named an Aaron's ace this week. Coach, could you talk to us about the development of Mason this season?
Well, I think he's grown into the job, and he's a guy that works really hard. He knew coming in he was going to be the starting quarterback, so he prepared for that and has been preparing for it since the last game of last year. So I think he works hard, and Mason is not going to go out there and win any Elite 11 quarterback awards from throwing the football. Nobody's going to say, man, that dude's spinning it all over the place. But I tell you what he does, he throws a very catchable ball. And, we've had guys that can throw it through people's hands, but, it's great to see him throw the ball where it needs to be thrown. And that's just confidence and work ethic that's doing that. So, but he gets better every week. And, we always knew he had a skill set that involved his legs for sure. So it's good to see him running. But it's a situation where this is on Mason. He's done this, and coaches or whatever can take credit for it, but we all know that that's not what we do. Mason's worked hard for this, and he deserves it, and we just hope he continues to improve.
Well, another big contributor in that offense, and that kind of plays into the success of the running game and passing game, obviously, and I talk about this all the time, is that offensive line. And Friday night, of course, we had Jordan Johnson was out with an injury, and Drew Huff stepped in, and that's the first time he's ever stepped foot on the field as a starter. And I know he's been kind of in some mop-up duty time and in the JV game as well. And I think Cooper Lyon and Will Wachter had a good bit of snaps as well. Coach, what was your assessment of the job they did, considering that you did have a center, and the center is kind of like a catcher. He's very important. That whole play starts with him. What was your assessment of the line Friday night and what they did?
Well, it all starts with the snap of the ball, and we feel like we got a really good center in Jordan Johnson. But, Drew, he brings a different element to center. Drew is, to me, is as quick as Jordan, but he's bigger. And, he had one bad snap on the shotgun snap, but I've always said Drew gets after you. I mean, if we can get the snap from him, then the rest of it he's going to take care of because he plays so hard and, he's got a little nastiness in him. And other than, the shotgun snaps, we wasn't really concerned about his effort. So just great to see him come in, get his opportunity, make the most out of it, and play the heck of a football game.
Thought so. That offensive line has done a great job these last 2 games, I thought. Coach, looking at the defensive side of the ball, and again, you're facing a SEC-style running back in ETN, and that's one of the things I know y'all focused on quite a bit was containing him. We allowed on 45 rushes, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's about 5.8 yards a carry. In the passing game, 4 of 18, 59 yards with an interception. One of the things, we knew the starting quarterback for Jennings was going to be hurt or had been hurt in the Iota game, so we knew ETN was probably going to be in that quarterback position. I did want to ask you this. With him playing quarterback, did that actually limit him somewhat and allow y'all to game plan him a little bit better?
Well, I think it did. He's not real comfortable there, and you can kind of tell that. But that he's your best athlete, and but just remember this: the guy scored 5 touchdowns and a half before he played us from the quarterback position. So I say he's not very comfortable. He was very comfortable there against Iota. But he's a heck of an athlete, and they list him at 5'10", 210. He's every bit of that, and big tree trunk legs and just quick, and hey, look, it was fun to play against the guy. How many guys you get to play against that, one day is going to be probably an NFL. And so I enjoyed playing against him, but I do think him being the quarterback limited their offense because you don't just lose one starter. When that quarterback goes out, you lose 2 because somebody had to replace him. And so, they were down 2 starters.
Well, another thing, Coach, when you look at the defense, and again, we've talked about this as well, and I've said that here, it just continuously seems to be a team effort. I mean, in the past, we've had 1 or 2 players that just seem to be double-digit tackles every week and were really the focus of that defense. But, I mean, this year, we see that spread out across the board amongst, and you may have defensive linemen, leading tackler. You got secondary guys that are maybe leading tacklers, linebackers. But, Coach, what are some areas that you see, as well as this defense has done, that they can get even better down the stretch since we're hitting district now? Are there some areas you see that they can even get better than where they are?
I thought our defensive line has played well, and it starts up front. If they play well and they can eat up blocks and keep guys off of our linebackers and safeties, and we have a chance to be successful on defense because we can run. And we got 11 guys out there and all of them can run, including our defensive linemen. So, but I think it starts up front, and but yeah, we got a lot of improving to do. We sat and watched film Saturday after the big win with Jennings, and you see things that we can improve on. And we worked on those things in practice this week. And but yeah, it's great to be good, but it's even better to be a great defense, and that's what we're working toward. And our kids understand what they got to do to get better. And we talked about practicing with a purpose this week. Why are you out here? And we had some good practices, and I think we'll see a little bit more fundamentally sound football Friday night.
Well, Coach, looking at special teams, they seem to get back on track this week for sure. We didn't punt the ball at all, but as far as say we had a punt return that went good, and then of course on the kicking game, that's where you had wanted to focus a lot on, and our kick coverage was really good this week. And then also on the kick return team, it seemed like that was clicking as well. I did want to recognize one thing, Coach, and I go back to Jacob Green. he placed the ball extremely well on those kickoffs. I know you were trying to keep it away from ETN. I think he returned one kickoff, but the rest of the time they were generally pooch punts. And it almost seems like he was putting them exactly where he wanted them. And in addition, they had a 30-yard field goal, but I thought all in all, you know, we had the turnover on one of the kicks. Coach seemed like they really bounced back against Jennings. I'd like to get your thoughts on that.
Well, the one kick that we would kick to 5 was the shortest return they had. So that's probably dumb coaching. You know, maybe should have kicked it to him every time. But yeah, they're playing good, man. And you know, we got some guys on that kickoff team that can run, and some of them, those guys are not starters, so it's their opportunity to go out and make a play. So very proud of them, and you know, we'll need to be good on that again this week as well.
Coach, I did have one question come in from fans. Actually, I had two, but one of them I figured might be better not to talk about. And this is really a good question. I was impressed with this one. Somebody wants to know, do you prefer grape jelly or strawberry jelly on your McDonald's biscuit on game day? And I know you're very superstitious, so are you going to tell
Strawberry without a doubt.
Okay.
Strawberry without a doubt.
Well, since Miss Jennifer's here, I figured you might want to make a note of that and bring some extra. Particularly since we're getting in district, I want to make sure you got plenty of jelly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I want to go back to one thing. That was a great question, by the way. But you know what I enjoy most about watching film on Saturdays is the things that nobody's going to see, nobody's going to talk about, nobody really understand. But we had some young guys in, and Jennings, you know, kept their ones in, and he breaks 5 at the end, breaks a run around the right side, and I'm watching that film, and I'm counting 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys that don't have a chance to catch that guy. But they are chasing that guy like their life depends on catching him. And those are young guys, and that's what makes you better. Max Reisinger comes all the way across the field and makes the play and makes the tackle on the 1-yard line. Now, if that would have been the last play of the game and we had to make that play to win the game, you know, that's just culture, that's guys that care, that, you know, those guys don't get a lot of playing time. But you know what? Those things mean a lot to me. And, you know, that's huge when I get to turn on the film and watch effort like that in a game that's 45-7 at that point. And those kids didn't have to do that, man. But, you know, good for them and good for us.
And it all starts from character, and that's what you see in those kids. And we did get a big shout out to Spearsville, because I know that was very important to those folks up there. Grandma and great-grandma. So anyway, I thought that was a great job, Max.
Yeah.
Getting him down inside the 5. But Coach, it's time now to reveal those first security title Monroe Players of the Week.
Okay, offensively, we've already talked about this guy a good bit. Mason Lahan, he did a heck of a job for us. Come on up, Mason. Special teams, Tony Rivera, you know, we snapped the ball and he did a great job, and come on up, bud. And he's our special teams player of the week, Tony. And this guy, you know, he's not ever going to have a big stat line, but we talk about doing your job so everybody else can do their job. Our defensive player of the week is sophomore Jackson Moore. These guys did a great job. You know, Jackson played offensive line last year, and we stole him. Put him at defensive line, and this really paid off big. He eats up blocks. He takes on double teams, and look, this guy's a mean guy. I mean, he is a football player through and through, and does a great job. Tony also plays tight end for us and H-back. You know, I wish we could get him the ball more. He's a great athlete, and he's a tremendous blocker. And does it. Mason, like I said, you know, Mason is doing everything he has to do to be the leader of this football team offensively, and just making plays, and you know, he just makes things happen. And these are three good candidates for this thing, and I'm glad to be able to award them our Players of the Week. Let's give them a big hand. Just want to shout out to Mitch Houston for doing this for us down at First Security Title in Monroe. And Mitch and Teresa are great people, and you know, he's a big supporter of the Panthers. His kid played here his senior year and was a good player for us, so you know, they're giving back to the program. We really appreciate it.
Well, congratulations to those guys on that recognition, and when we come back, we'll have an interview with Sterlington High School head athletic trainer, Miss Anna Wigley. We'll be back in just a moment.
First Security Title of Monroe provides real estate transaction services in Northeast Louisiana. The closing process has never been easier. With a dedicated staff that takes pride in helping our customers obtain quality service. First Security Title, 1818 Avenue of America, Monroe. Community Health Services in Bastrop provides quality medical, dental, and behavioral healthcare services for patients of all ages. Our goal is to make a difference by providing superior healthcare services and exceed patient expectations by doing the right thing every day to improve lives in our community. If you're ready for our team to care for you, visit communityhealth.org today.
We are Marion State Bank.
And have been for 100 years.
Community banking. It's not just what we do, it's ingrained in who we are. By providing a banking experience you can trust. Marion State Bank. Marion, Farmerville, Sterlington, Monroe, West Monroe.
When the world is uncertain, having a focus can make everything clear. At Gallagher, our focus is community. Gallagher's purpose is to help you move forward with confidence by managing your risk, by helping you foster a healthy, thriving workforce. So whether your doors never closed or you're looking to return and rebuild, our focus remains where it's always been, on you and your community. Because that's what it means to build confidence together.
Welcome back to the Coach Lee Doty Show, brought to you by Benoit Ford of Farmerville. And we have now got our head athletic trainer at Sterlington High School and sports medicine instructor, Anna Wigley. And glad you come to the show. And I hear the guys on the team don't call you Anna. Is it Una or something like that?
Yeah, it's Una with a little bit of oomph and a U.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not sure who started that one. Might have been your son, actually.
It probably was, and I'll apologize for that. You want to take care of the person that's taking care of you, so
right,
that's
right.
all. I'm sure they do it because they love you.
They take good care of me.
Hey, this is your second year as a head athletic trainer at Sterlington, and you know, a lot of folks probably hadn't had an opportunity to meet you and don't know much about you. But tell us about yourself, where you went to school, what sports you were involved in, I guess, and what led you into sports medicine.
Okay. Yeah. I went to high school. I moved to West Washita High School out in West Monroe when I was a junior. Played basketball all my life, so I played there, and that's kind of where I got interested into athletic training. I had never even seen an athletic trainer before, didn't know it was a job, so I had an injury that year, and my athletic trainer there, he helped me get through it and see the people I needed to see so I could get back and play what I love to play. So that kind of got me interested, so I did sports medicine student with football, like I might have girls and students out there that help me with it. So that got me into it. I went to college at Southern Miss down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and got my degree there, and loved it. I fell in love with the profession and knew I wanted to work at a high school level from that point on. And I worked for a year at ULM with men's basketball as a graduate assistant, and this job was available after that. And so I thought, well, you know, I love this area, I know this area, and that's kind of my dream job. So I thought, why not? And ended up here. So
we're glad to have you. Done a good job with these guys so far. You know, something that you know, most folks see you on the sidelines, you know, every Friday night, attending to injuries, but there's a lot more to what you do than just that. And I know you and the student trainers, y'all get these guys, you get them ready every game. And what do y'all do to get these guys, I guess, prepped up for the games? I know y'all got a lot of things, because when I come through that training room, y'all got them on the tables doing all kind of stuff.
Spread out.
What do y'all generally do?
So our typical Fridays usually game prep starts about 3 o'clock or so. Oftentimes before that, I've got players piled up taking naps in my training room. But about 3 o'clock, we usually head up and set up Gatorade for our team for their pregame meal. So we give them that. If any of the boys have cramps, I call them our repeat crampers every Friday. I'll give them some supplements to try and help decrease that chance of it happening again that Friday night. After pregame meal, we go back down. They have a little bit of downtime to kind of get their mind right, get ready for the game. And me and my girls, my students, we start getting the training room ready. We start taping tables. They get their sections ready. And then my seniors, they tape wrists. I let them do that because they learn that in our class. And I usually tape ankles, do any other tape jobs or things that need to be done like that, while the younger ones, they're setting up the field. So they're getting all the coolers set out, our trunk with all of the supplies set out. They're getting all of our emergency supplies, anything like that. The evaluation tables, they set up all of that. So my students are definitely my saving grace. If I didn't have them, I would be running crazy trying to get it all done at the same time. So that's usually what it looks like. And then, during the game, we're on the sidelines, and after, we're putting everything back up, checking out anybody that's maybe got an injury or not feeling so great, and take care of them and send them on their way.
Well, something too, I had asked you a little bit about this. I just want to get your thoughts on this. It's got to be a challenge being a sports trainer now. You're in a game, you got chaos going all around. You're trying to triage this guy and say, what's wrong with him? What's the severity of it? And can he go back in? I mean, you got to get all this done while a coach is screaming at you, probably saying, hey, can we get this guy back in, or is he done? So how do you manage all that? Is it as chaotic as it looks like?
Sometimes. Usually it's a little more chaotic if I'm dealing with one and then somebody else decides they want to fall down. So then I gotta kind of figure out which one to go to next. But our coach has been great. They've been really understanding that I kind of let me do my job and figure out what's going on. As far as getting them back into play, of course, that's what we're hoping is going on. But part of being an athletic trainer isn't really, we got to get you back on the field. We got to get you back on the field. It's more of, what's the best medically for your health? What's the best? If I think, if I put them back out there too quick, they're going to make it worse, or it's not going to be beneficial for their health in the long run, then that's when I kind of make the decision of, hey, why don't we just kind of take this one out, sit it out for a little bit. But usually what I try to go through is if it's something serious that they might need to see a doctor for pretty quick, then I kind of hold them out. But that's usually what it is. It's how serious is this, and trying to do it in a timely manner, because I know a lot of our boys, they're in and out. They're in and out, especially now. Our defense has done a good job, so it's a quick overturn. So I'm trying to get them done as fast as I can.
Well, and it goes beyond just Friday night. I mean, you see those guys on Saturday, and you'll see them through the week. What do you typically do on, what does that entail, like during the week, treating those guys? I mean, what do y'all normally do for them? I know it depends on the injury, but
right. So Saturdays, I always hold treatment Saturday mornings, just because everyone knows has ever done anything really. The next day you wake up, you feel pretty terrible, probably worse than the night before. So Saturday mornings, anyone that wants to come in, I'm up there usually for about an hour, longer if I need to be. They come in, they can get ice or any kind of treatments on any injuries or wounds, whatever they've got from the night before, and we try and go ahead and get some treatment started. That way, if there is swelling or any kind of inflammatory issue going on, we can kind of knock that out, hopefully get ahead of it. So they come in on Saturdays, do that, and then anybody that has an injury or an issue, they come in the mornings before school. I tell them usually get there about 7 o'clock, which they kind of groan and moan about that, but they come in and we basically do the same thing. Whatever we've got to do, if that's rehab or treatment, whatever makes them feel 100% ready for the next game, so we can try and get them back on their feet and ready to go.
Well, and I know you are a sports medicine teacher, instructor. For students that are interested in being a student trainer, is that the path they need to take? I mean, do they need to come? And I assume that's an elective as well, but
yeah.
Is that how you get most of your student trainers through the program?
Yes, so all of my student trainers have to take my class. They get into sports medicine. Now I think it's opened up where freshmen can take it. It used to didn't be that way, but they have to be in my class to come out there. And then they work so many hours they have to get for a grade, and they come to practices and all kinds of stuff. So anyone you see out there, they've either are in my class now or they were in it in the past. So my seniors were in it last year. And that's kind of how they get to be out there, and they learn the things that they need to know to be able to help me out. Whether it's wound care that they're taking care of on the sides where we've got turf burns or something, they can clean that on their own without me having to go there and do it.
Well, can they, this is something I was thinking about too, as far as career path, I mean, this not only just like in sports medicine, I mean, I'm assuming that what you learned in here could take you into some other
Oh yeah,
career.
Absolutely. Once you get to college, if you've decided this is the medical field, at least sports medicine kind of stuff that you want to do, even like now, if you have an athletic training degree, you can go to like PT school. I've had friends that go to PA school, which is physician assistant. There's a lot of different avenues you can go to. You can go into exercise therapy, anything like that, sports related, or not even necessarily that. It just prepares you, gives you a basic knowledge of this expertise, I guess you would say, to kind of move on. If they wanted to in the future, they could move into a different area or work different settings. The athletic training profession has opened up a lot where it's not even necessarily now just schools, like high schools, college. You can go off and work military and industrial settings and stuff like that. It's become really versatile. So, even if they don't think, well, I want to work in high school, they can still take it to a different setting and it be a completely different thing. So.
Well, it's a great thing y'all are doing there and training them as well. And I know you've got a couple of your seniors here tonight that you did want to recognize, so I'm going to ask you to have them come up.
I do. I have Lisa Jones and Sarah Passarello. Y'all come on up. These two girls have been here. This is my second year, and this is their second year with me as well. They work hard. They work hard for me. They keep the boys in line when I'm not in there. I do know that. But they've been a huge part of our success that we've had, and I've really enjoyed working with them. They do a lot of the grunt work for me. I know that's not always fun, but without them, I would be insane. So
all I know is I've seen them take those big water jugs and sling them in the back of a truck.
Look, they're small, but they will throw them around.
I know.
It's not a joke.
I know Lisa does, and I've seen Sarah. They will
bow up on them real fast.
They're very surprising. So anyway, they didn't have a career in football. I don't know.
Throw them out there. Put some pads on them real quick.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all for what you do, and well, I really appreciate you coming in, Anna. It's enlightening. Like I said, a lot of people see you on the sideline, see your student trainers, and I don't think they know just how involved they are in what y'all do. And it's not just a Friday night deal or a Monday and Thursday on basketball or Tuesday and Friday. I mean, it's well beyond that, but y'all do a great job, and I'm glad y'all were able to come talk to us about that. So,
appreciate it.
Well, when we come back, we will preview the upcoming game against the Union Farmers. We'll be back in just a moment.
Here in Sterlington, our town motto is Faith, Family, Friends. At First Baptist Church, we believe those three things are what's most important for all of us, from the youngest to the oldest. We want to help you and your family thrive in each area. Whether you're new to town or just looking to get better connected, we'd love for you to come join us on a Sunday morning at 10 a.m. For a full schedule or more information, check out fbcsterlington.com. FBC Sterlington, we're here for you.
That's the sound of the fifth quarter at the 64 in Sterlington. Come and get some of that good old authentic Louisiana cuisine, like only the 64 can whip up for you, child. Nolan's has come to town, and there's only one place to be after the Panther game. It's the 64. Hey Trey, fix me some of them jazzy potatoes.
Hello, I'm Ross Downs of the Downs Law Firm. We're a personal injury law firm that handles cases involving 18-wheeler crashes, automobile wrecks, pedestrian accidents, as well as slip, trip, and fall. We're with our clients every step of the way. We advise them through issues surrounding the liability issues of a wreck or a personal injury. Please give us a call if we can be of further assistance.
Ross Downs, 318-284-8551.
I was surprised.
I was definitely surprised.
Yep, we had no idea. Totally surprised.
Can you say jaw drop?
Who knew? State Farm, with these great rates?
The surprise everyone's talking about is the surprisingly great rates for home and auto insurance from State Farm, especially when you combine them.
When you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ron Bush in Sterlington today.
Welcome back to the Coach Lee Doty Show, brought to you by Benoit Ford of Farmerville. Coach, before we preview the Union game, once again, I always like to ask you, I know the JV team played again Monday night, and they were at home, I believe, against Richwood. Can you tell us how all that went?
Yeah, it went good. Played really well, I thought, and we won. I'm not really sure of the final score, but 30-something to 14 maybe, but it was fun to be at home. That's our first home JV game, so our kids were, got excited because they got to wear the black jerseys. And but man, we had a big crowd, and everybody was excited, and the kids performed, and it's great to see them have success.
That is good. And y'all got another game at home this Monday night, this upcoming Monday night. Who's it against, Coach?
Well, it'll be not next week, but the following week. It'll be Carroll at home, and another opportunity to come watch our young guys play. Shout out also to our middle school guys and our middle school coaches. They're doing a great job. They're all undefeated down there as well, and had a big win over Oak Grove last night. So doing a good job. And just want to say really, again, thank you to Anna. She does a great job, and all of our student trainers. And it's fun because Anna's the same age as my daughters, basically. So we hired her, and she came in and hit the floor running. And we lost Doc, and we was on a time frame there to hire someone, and we're really appreciative she come in here, and this is a big job. It's a big job for a 23-year-old, 24-year-old. She's up there at 6:30, in the mornings. If we have a home football game, she doesn't leave till, after 11 most of the time. During basketball season, she's got to be there at 6:30 for treatment. If we have a home basketball game, she doesn't leave till 10. And, this is a young lady here, and she's spending an awful lot of hours, and we appreciate what she does, and, very happy to have her, and hope she stays around a long time, at least as long as I do. So,
a little selfish, but hey, I understand that.
Right.
Well, Coach, of course, we'll be on the road Friday night to take on the Union Farmers, and it is in Farmville. Kickoff is set for 7 o'clock. They're coming into the game with a 3-2 record. They dropped a couple, lost to Captain Shreve and Washita Parish High School, of course, a couple of 5A schools, and they did bounce back last week. They beat Franklin on the road 40-6. Coach, when looking at that Union offense, we'll be facing an explosive unit as usual, led by a 4-star recruit. Got another one, junior this time, though, Trey Holly. And one of the biggest offensive lines we're going to see all year. It just seems like they just roll them out, and they just it's almost like Oak Grove. They roll them out, and they got another big group coming in. But, of course, Holly is the focal point of the Union offense. I mean, we've seen him for, this will be the 4th year. He started as an 8th grader, started playing then. Very talented back, well deserving of that 4-star ranking. I mean, just does a good job at that position. But something, Coach, that kind of gets overlooked. In addition to Holly, they've got a fullback, Jaquarius Donald, and he's also a very good running back. I mean, he'd probably be a tailback on a lot of teams. I think Holly set out last week. He's got 777 yards just on the ground, rushing. But Donald's got 558 himself. Without giving anything away, Coach, any secrets, because like we talked about, everybody watches this show. I mean, it's probably statewide, everybody wants to hear what's going on here, but
we need a raise then.
I was going to talk to you about that later, but anyhow. What challenges does facing two backs of that caliber with that big offensive line in front of them, what challenges is that going to present for you guys?
Well, it's definitely a challenge, and I agree with you about the Donald kid. I mean, he's a very capable running back himself, and I like their quarterback. I think he's a good player as well. But their line is so big, and they go foot to foot, and even though they're big, they have some quickness about them. And they want to, pound the football at you. And they got two really good-looking tight ends. Number 3 is specimen. They list him at 6'2", 6'3", 230. When they go pro set, instead of bringing someone in, they just take him out of tight end and put him at wide receiver. And, you got a 6'3", 230-pound guy out there playing wide receiver that, catches a fade route for 70 yards against Franklin Parish. So, that type of stuff will keep you up at night. But, our kids understand this type of challenge, and they, we've played them 6 times, I guess, since I've been here, 4, 5, 6 times. And, they understand what it takes. They understand this week, and they understand the importance of the game. And we've had a great week of practice. And, it comes down to tackling and, lining up right and tackling. So we'll see what happens.
Coach, we talk a lot about the running game, and you kind of brought something up I wanted to ask as well. As good as that running game is, you don't see much of the passing game as far as in the bylines. Looking at the stats, again, I mean, they're not bad. It's 21 passes, 21 of 36 in the passing game, 322 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And that's not a bad stat line for a team that runs as much as Union does. I didn't see much of the passing game, Coach. Is it more of the short passes, intermediate routes, just trying to keep that box kind of loosened up with yards after the catch, or what is their passing game entail?
Well, it's a bootleg game mainly, and they lull you to sleep, and it hadn't been many of those, 36?
Yeah, 36 passes.
It hadn't been many of those 36 passes that they attempted that somebody wasn't wide open. I think the quarterback does a good job when he's pressured. He scrambles and he finds the right guy to throw to. But it's you got to stay awake, man. You got to stay awake, and they don't mind throwing it on first down either. So, but it's still about, to me, if they line up and throw for 300 yards and score 5 touchdowns against us and beat us by throwing the football, then you take your hat off to them and you move on to next week. But we have to stop the run, or at least slow it down. Trey Holly's going to get his. It's no doubt about it, and we just got to tackle the guy, hats to the football, and make him put it on the ground some, and hopefully Donald will put it on the ground. Maybe we can get some pressure on the quarterback and he'll throw it to us. But we got a good game plan. I think we just got to go execute it, and this is going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time for us.
Oh, absolutely. As far as the Union defense goes, they've always been athletic, fast on defense, generally aggressive. I know that presents challenges. And this is kind of just a vanilla question, Coach. I mean, is this a week where you're going to go into the game kind of with a balanced approach on offense, running and passing, and just kind of see where the game takes you? I mean, sometimes you go into with a game plan, and it may open up one or the other.
Well, I mean, we're going to go into it, and, Larry and I talked today, Coach Foster and I talked, we're going to go into it with our best players and our best plays and our best schemes. And, if they beat us with us using our best players and our best schemes, and again, you take your hat off to them. But, our guys will be ready to play, and I think we can move the ball on them. And, the thing is finishing drives. We just don't need to move it from the 30 to the 30. I mean, we need to finish drives, and they seem to get a little bit tighter on defense the closer you get to the goal line.
Well, Coach, do you have any closing comments before we sign off?
Well, I'll tell you this. Trey Holly's a good football player. I can tell you that. So this is the second week in a row we've played against a 4-star guy. So, you know, I know a lot of folks are going to go there just to watch him. But we got some good football players too. And, you know, we'll be ready. I mean, everybody talks about how fired up they'll be. Well, look, you know, we're going to be ready to play too. You know, so I don't always get all that. But, you know, we're going to be ready to play. Our kids are excited about the opportunity. We know we're going to play in front of a huge crowd. And so we're excited about the opportunity to go play.
Well, I know a lot of people are excited to head over there, and the game starts at 7 o'clock, and you probably want to get there kind of early because I think those tickets are going fast. And if you can't make the game, you can certainly watch it on the Sterling Panther YouTube channel and tune it in. But we'd much rather you be there. We'd like to pack the stands, and I mean, if they're standing on the track, I mean, we want them there, be loud, proud, and backing these Panthers. I mean, it's we got a good season going here, and we want all hands on deck. Well, I look at it, Coach.
Yeah.
So.
And we sold 600 tickets in 2 days, so I think we're going to have a great crowd. So
that's awesome.
You know, thanks for everybody coming tonight. Maybe our best crowd so far. And as always, come see us and play tomorrow. If you can't, watch us on SHS Panther Football. And go Panthers.
Amen to that. Well, that's the show, and we look forward to seeing y'all Friday night in Farmville.
Neela Turf Farms provides sales, delivery, and installation of luscious sods and rich soils. Whether you're building your own lawn from scratch or you're looking to restore the look and feel of your old landscape, we can help. Our technicians have over 20 years of experience analyzing our residential and commercial clients' needs. Contact us today to learn more about our services or to schedule an initial appointment. Carpenter Road, Bastrop, Louisiana.
I spend my nights under the stage lights, but after the applause, I'm back in my truck from my hometown dealer, Benoit Motors. The country roads of Louisiana are my soul, and Benoit Motors gets who I am and who we are. They are proud to be a dealership for the everyday American. Join me and become a member of their family. Benoit Motors, they're with you for all your life's big moments and all the miles in between.
This broadcast is copyrighted by Empire Media and Management. Any unauthorized reproduction is strictly prohibited.